All right, Fred, it looks like you had a really fun morning this morning.
Yeah, well, I just had to run back there. That audio was great. Wow. Let's see who our editors are.
We worked on it as fast as humanly possible. That was our our project for this morning. There will be a high definition one with better audio loaded to YouTube soon. So, Fred, we're talking about when the world stops, how we're going to. Sorry, I'm so thrown off. How about you say it, because you said it great in the video. Oh, are
You
you
just
still?
kind of, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, we have a bad connection.
Really?
Yeah, it looks
Hey,
like. Are you with us? Oh no. All right. Well, hey everyone. I'm
well,
gonna
you
go
know what?
ahead.
If we have a bad,
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead. So, Fred, if you want to work on getting
I'm not
your.
going to, I'm not,
Uh-oh. Yep, I can't hear you, Fred. Well, I'm going to say hi to everyone. And if you want to check to see if you're on the Wi-Fi, the best Wi-Fi possible, that would be awesome. While you're doing that, I'm going to say, hey, could you hear the audio on the video at all? Give me a thumbs up if you could hear the audio. Hi, Kelly, Odin, Michael, Kristen. I know we have Mary, Donna. Thanks for coming, Donna, from YouTube as well. That's awesome. Sean, Stephanie, Derek. We have Steve Brown over on Eclipse, Sunblock, Odin, Bill, everyone. I know it's a bit choppy. Yep, it's hard to get video to play through these lives. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Oh, it looks like I got Fred back, but I'm going to say the title one more time, but I'd love to have Fred say it. So let me see if we've got him on. Fred, are you
yeah,
there?
I'm here. What the hell
I
happened?
don't know. It's saying that you have a bad connection, it looks like.
Well, I have my phone. If that happens again, I'm going to jump onto my phone.
All
Uh,
right. Well, it looks like you're in a beautiful location too right now. So I just thought you might be able to say the title of our show again, because I love how you said it in the video.
oh, the one you couldn't hear. Well, really, the whole thing here is when the world stops, it's go time, right? This is the time for entrepreneurs to make their mark. There's several reasons to do so, and my illustration out on the roadways basically was meant to show you that there's nobody out there. The competition is slowing down. At the beginning of March, our advertisers said you need to eliminate your advertising budget. We increased it by 25%, and we had some really great new partners to join to our fold and our family of partners. The the knee-jerk reaction when you have things like this, and by the way, none of us have really experienced this. I think in 1918, when they had one of the flu epidemics, it really forced everybody into their homes. But since then, in the U.S., this is something new, and we all worry and we don't know what we should be doing. But the reality is, you can have so many services available to you right now. If you're building a project, if you are on your way, on your journey to try to make a difference and to create something amazing, now's the best time to do it. You have all the advertising is discounted. Even Google advertising is discounted. There's not as many competitors out there bidding on something. You have graphic designers, engineers, artists, all sorts of people who are strained and stressed in their work or their ability to have work. You can get people to help you with a lot of things at a lot lower price than you otherwise would have been able to do. So this is the perfect environment. You know, we're in a really bad way in the world. That the economy is going to probably take a 30% hit this year. Unemployment, I think we got 10 million people had to go into unemployment in the last week. It's crazy out there, but there's two choices when you're an entrepreneur, and that's to wait for the world to catch back up or take advantage of a really bad situation. And when I say advantage, I don't mean doing anything that is takes away from others, other than your competitors. When I say take advantage, it means that there are opportunities here with all these things that are happening. There are opportunities here for you to work harder, grow faster, get ready more quickly, and find something that is going to make a difference fast.
I love it. I mean, you covered a lot right there and just in that couple seconds, but I want to kind of go back to that about how they can take advantage of it right now. So
Sure.
not just let's do it, but what should we be doing right now?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. One of our partners, Aaron Patterson, we're building an app and hardware combination, and it's called Kindred. And what it's designed for is for hospital environments to help the staff keep on schedule, to be washing their hands on a regular basis for the proper amount of time. Obviously, that's really even more important today in this environment. And by the way, the world is going to change forever. But what's happening right now, when we go back live, as if you will, in the world, there are going to be behavioral shifts that are going to last for a long period of time. But it was important before. It's really important now. So what do we have going on in our community and around the world? We are reactive as a society, as a government, as a health agency. We know about things after they happen as opposed to when they're happening. So we are releasing this coming week. In fact, we have a meeting with 9 people here this afternoon. This coming week, we are releasing a free version of Kindred for everybody in the world to download. We're going to focus first on the US and then see if we have the capabilities to go elsewhere. But we're working with a partner and dear friend of mine, Ira Hayes, who has another project, and we're combining the 2 projects. What does that mean? That means when you download Kindred, you're going to get reminders on a regular basis, depending on where you work, or if you're working from home, you set the schedule for when you should be washing your hands. It'll remind you when you're supposed to, and when you start, it'll let you know when you've gone long enough. Plus, there'll be a lot of tips in there on proper techniques to take care of yourself, take care of your health, to how to maintain distance and still do well in the work that you have to do. And on top of that, we're asking that you take your temperature once a day. And when you take your temperature and enter it into the Kindred app, it's going to go into a database that Iris created. And that database sorts by zip code. And now, whenever we see a part of the population in a certain zip code is having an increase in the amount of people with fevers, CDC, the government, the health agencies that are even local can find out about it right away by logging into our system, and they'll get real-time data, seeing how something is growing, how the fever, which is in about 85% of people who have coronavirus, they have fevers, so they can see pockets that are spreading and get in there and really do some dramatic work really fast in those areas and find out where it's starting from. Opportunistic, we shift gears. This product was meant for one thing. We're now introducing it to the world, and it should make a really good difference for people. So it's taking advantage and not just hunkering down and thinking about, let's look at a normal way of thinking, right? The normal way of thinking is, oh, crap. We have this thing going on. I have this amazing app. I want to sell it to hospital systems. They're completely overloaded. They're not going to be able to talk to me. Nobody's going to be able to talk to me. And instead, you look at the environment you're in, and you look at an obstacle as an opportunity. Remember, I've told you guys over and over again, we're failures and we are crazy. And when you fail at something, right, we're failing. We have this app for the healthcare community, and there's not anybody that's going to pick up the phone call. But what are we doing? We're taking a sharp turn and coming up with something that's really helpful for the United States, for the world even. And so that's the type of thinking you need to do as an entrepreneur. Now look at what you're doing. What are you building? Have you started anything yet? If you haven't, then you can go get research work done pretty cheaply nowadays. You can get design work. You can get people help you with your website. You can get copywriters that are not having enough work. Take advantage by helping others, right? This is what we're doing with Kindred. We're taking advantage of a situation and we're helping other people in doing so. So if you take advantage for yourself, for whatever project you're working on, whatever project you want to see come to fruition, you're doing it by helping other people that don't have enough work, they don't have enough things to do, and you coming along and providing them money that's even at a discounted rate is something that people need nowadays. So you do good for yourself and you do good for others when you're able to react in situations like this when the whole world is frozen.
I think that's what's so cool about working with IdeaPros. They see these opportunities. I mean, it's a collective whole of people that are always looking out for the best interest of our partners. And we see this opportunity, and Fred's absolutely busting his booty to get all this stuff so that it can be there for everyone right now in this time of need. So thank you, Fred, for having the foresight to see that coming. We appreciate that. And actually, I think there's a lot of companies that took advantage of, or didn't take advantage. They did exactly what Fred was talking about during times of recession and really got their business going, right, Fred? So do you want me to show that screenshot?
Sure, that would be cool.
Awesome. Let's see if we can get this one in here so you guys can check it out. So these are some of the businesses that have started, that were started in recessions, and we have way more than that. Uber's also one of them. So Fred, if you want to just talk briefly about this, we did a show about this too, not too long ago.
Yeah, we have Uber, Airbnb. They started when we had the 2008 recession based on the housing market. The reality is that
you have an airplane or something.
I'm locked up in quarantine. Pretty nice though. We have an acre right by the beach, and we have a gym and a sauna and steam rooms and pool, and so it doesn't suck really. And a lot of our partners have come here to spend the day with us, so it's kind of nice around here. But it really is a little weird and a little lonely sometimes. But back to these companies. When you have an environment, right? If you're going to go live today, that might suck for you unless you're doing something that's really like what we're going to do with Kindred. It's not the greatest time to go live if you're going to open a new restaurant. It's not the greatest time to go live with your new movie theater chain, or even things that involve discretionary spending, because you're going to have some predictions are up to 30% of the United States is going to be temporarily unemployed. And that's why we have all these big multi-trillion-dollar packages coming out. But it still is a great time, even if you're going to have a restaurant, if you're going to have a movie theater, if you're going to have apps, if you're going to have clothing, electronics, any of those types of things. It's a good time to get started, because now you need tools and you need time. So your business, if you're employed, you're either on unemployment and they have you scaled back, or even if you're fortunate enough, like everybody at IdeaPros, to be working from home. We had a record month this past month of really sharp entrepreneurs coming in to work with us. If you don't have that fortune, you do have the fortune of being able to take your purpose, right? There's two things going on in us as human beings, and you got to get in touch with them both. One is a purpose. What is my purpose in life? It can be something. I could be the greatest dad in the world, which is actually one of mine. I try to be, although sometimes my kids don't agree, but a lot of times they do, and that's pretty awesome. Or you could be the best businessman, or you could be the best yoga teacher. You have a dream and you want to create something. That's your purpose. But you also have your legacy. Your legacy is your outside facing, and your legacy is how you're going to affect the world. How are you going to affect those two kids? If you start in business after 15 years in your 9-to-5 job, and now this world is collapsed around you, and you're using that time to create something different. You know, not only are you serving your own purpose, but you're also serving your legacy by showing your children that you don't have to sit around for 15 years in a 9 to 5 job. You can be yourself the second you become an adult, the second you get out of college, the second you have your first dream of what to do. Those things are going on in entrepreneurs' minds all over the world. And so there there is a real opportunity. And that's what happened with those companies in the past. With every one of them, they really came to life in times that were really difficult. And when you do that, when you have think about it, if you can make it in hard times, then you know the easy times are easier. But if you have an opportunity to have all these tools available for you. You ready to go advertise? Go talk to Google. You're going to get better rates. There's less competition on there. And and think about this. Everybody, when they go live, when they're ready to go live, they're going to have competitors. You know, I have a lot of partners saying, I don't have any competitors. We all have competitors. We don't have competitors. You're in a shitty market that nobody's going to
Something's
talk.
wrong.
If there's no competitors, you don't have anything. Same thing with when the first car came out. I've used this story before. People would say there's no competitors, but the horse was a competitor. In fact, some of the early videos, you can horse versus car. You should look them up. In the old days, the horse kicking the shit out of the car, and so there's always a competitor. But those competitors are probably already out there, and those competitors are suffering right now, and and they are going to have to regroup. And when the economy turns around and when the lights come on, there are going to be several steps behind you if you're a company that's just ready to launch when that happens. Because if your company is ready to launch, you don't have any baggage. You're just starting. So let's suppose this takes 6 months, God forbid. But let's suppose it takes 6 months. 6 months from now, you launch, your competitors are recovering from everything that they've been through. They have to bring employees back. They have back orders. The factory's been shut down. They have their advertising budget is all askew. They're losing market share. And you show up as a new player, fresh, full of cash. You got to find cash, and with a differentiated product that's ready to rock and roll. That's a great opportunity for you to have an I was going to say an advantage, but for you to have an unfair advantage because you're not carrying any of that baggage that your competition is going to have to bring at the end of this disaster that we have here in the world.
I think a lot of people might be wondering what steps go into getting a product to market too right now. So I just wanted to let you guys know, I will put this up on the screen too, but we have a checklist that will basically show you all the steps that go into it. So if you're new, I know we have a lot of new people on the feed today. If you're new to IdeaPros weekly lives, then we can give you the basics of checklist item. You can start checking some of those off while you're around, while you're not at an office location. Like start the research, start the market research, which we'll definitely do a show on. I know Fred doesn't want to, but a lot of people have asked for it.
You know,
He's,
the shows kind of get boring to me,
I
but
know. Or we'll just put the blog up for you guys.
so
you
important.
know, that's why Fred gave us a little ride in his car today, right, Fred? To make it a little less boring.
The reality is as boring as it is, and when we talk to new partners, sometimes they're like, a research report, what is that? It really is. It's your game plan, And in fact, just before this, Tessa was panicking when I joined on 2 minutes before. Um, Before this, I was speaking to a guy who's got an extraordinary product. He's been trying to sell it for 3 years. 3 years. This product is extraordinary. That's all I can say about it. 3 years, he's got one sale. It's ridiculous. And I started talking to him about research. Well, we've done some, right? When you think about research, and I know you want to do a show about research, but you said it, so I'm going to talk about it. That's all right. Forget about
I do. We'll do it, definitely.
just very briefly. It's your attack plan. It's your game plan, right? You don't want to be the general custer of apps. Um, you want to be that person that's really thought you want to be General Patton or you want to be Genghis Khan. You want to really think about your environment, the landscape, the competitors, your customers that you're trying to get, the market, how's it growing? What are the macro issues? Are there viruses around the corner? Um, are the governmental regulations that could interfere with what you're doing? What is the pushback for these customers? What are these customers saying about your competitors? Where do they suck? Where are the one-star reviews? How are you going to make them your five-star reviews? It's the whole game plan of what you're going to do, no matter what it is you're selling. And if you don't have that nailed, then you don't have anything, because you're not going to know how to go to market. All you're going to know is, I have this amazing golden widget, and if anybody would buy this darn thing, I'd be a millionaire. Well, you don't want to be a millionaire. You're going to be a millionaire if you focus instead on learning how to beat the competition and learning how to give something to a consumer who's going to love it. And you have to imagine, you have to put yourself in that consumer's place and think about what their experience is when they're taking your product and they're replacing something else. What do you have that's so amazing that's going to cause them to stop the status quo and start with something new? So that's a little aside for a show we're going to have in the future. But let's get back to this.
Yes, so we did actually get the final version of the video, and you guys might see it in the chat as well. So when we are going to splice some things together for this show, that we'll have the beginning, the brand new beginning on it. We'll
Wow.
play it at the end if we think. If you guys could just tell me if you heard the audio through the computer when we did the video in the beginning. Fred, you
No.
said you can hear it through Facebook. Okay, well then go visit it. The link that we have, and we'll put it. It's up on YouTube right now. So, Fred, is there anything that you want to kind of inspiration that you want to close out today's show with for everyone? I know that obviously your car is inspiration and alone to me, but any thoughts? Final thoughts?
Well, look, we all have something that we need to be doing, and none of us are doing enough of it. Everybody, almost everybody, is working from home. So whether you're at the very beginning of just have this pregnant thought in your mind of thinking about something, or whether you're pretty far along with it, even if you're a partner of IdeaPros that does a lot of this heavy lifting and thinking for you, get a piece of paper, old-fashioned way, get a pencil, and start writing down things that you need to do. Start thinking about, wow, I'm not quite ready to go yet, but maybe I can get a graphic designer to help me with some of my thoughts. Maybe I can get somebody who's really good at web design that can help me at least get a kind of teaser page together. Maybe it's time, even though Fred just teased me, that I should look at research reports and think about whether I really understand my strategy. So in this time when the world is stopping, it's really the time to get that brain going, to really start thinking about you, think about your purpose, and think about your legacy. Because when you work hard and you work fast, you can deliver all those things.
Oh, your dog just took off. I was going to say hi to your dog too.
My dog just took off because my daughter in her bathing suit just walked past to go get a tan. So
Well,
that's
thank you so
catching
much.
on.
Thank you so much, Fred, for being on today, despite your quarantine situation. And we are here every Friday at noon, guys. Next week, we'll be on research, a little bit more with 6 tools that you can use for market research. And we will see you guys all next week. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, guys, take care. Be safe. We love
Be
you.
safe.
Bye bye.